A top WWE star says he will leave the company if he loses at WrestleMania. WWE introducing a new title belt, and we'll tell you what happened after WrestleMania 40 Night 1 went off the air. Stay tuned, it's time for the news. I am plum tuckered. Let's talk about Drew McIntyre, one of the biggest stars in WWE, who has threatened to leave WWE if he loses tomorrow night in his match against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. Chatting away to Alex McCarthy, the wonderful Alex McCarthy, he said, if I can't win against Seth Rollins on Sunday, I quite frankly shouldn't be in this industry. I'll leave WWE. And he should feel even more confident after the battering that Seth Rollins took tonight.
Absolutely. Not long after the fact, Drew was also on Twitter, and he was like, I predicted it all. This is how it was going to go down. If I can't get it done, then I will be a silly man for not being able to get that done.
Yep, Seth's back is wrecked. His knee is wrecked. Yep. His mind is wrecked. Not a good night for the architect. He's got to do it. Drew will look like a fool if he doesn't win tomorrow.
Absolutely. And I know, like, maybe some people were thinking, we've got a Clash at the Castle coming up in Glasgow as well. Maybe they'd hold off for that. But I think that, again, it would be silly if he didn't win tomorrow.
Yeah,
or today, I guess.
I don't have any problem with him walking into Clash as champion.
Absolutely not.
You don't need to hold off. You don't need any nonsense. I think Seth just needs to drop that belt to Drew, who has been on an absolute tear in recent months. He's doing the best character work that I think he's ever done.
Yeah.
In wrestling, full stop, yeah. WWE and away from WWE. So best of luck tomorrow to Drew McIntyre. Just in case you missed it, NXT taking place yesterday, Stand and Deliver. During that, WWE NXT General Manager Ava announcing that there's going to be a new title belt.
Yes, there's going to be an NXT Women's North American Championship. That was revealed during Stand and Deliver following the 6-woman tag team match. Avid said, if that tag match doesn't show why we have the best women's division in all of professional wrestling, then I have no idea what does. I truly believe that the women are the backbone of NXT. That is why I'm so excited and honored to announce that soon we will be crowning the first ever women's NXT North American champion.
Really happy about this.
Yeah.
I think a mid-card women's championship has been needed in WWE for quite a while. I'm quite surprised, actually, to see it pop up in NXT first. I don't know if there are plans to maybe defend this across all three brands. It seems like it's going to be NXT exclusive. But, like, as a stepping stone to the women, one of the women's world titles, I think that's great. In NXT, they've got a deep enough roster of women.
Agreed.
That can utilize the sort of mid-card title scene. And I like the fact that it's the NXT North American Championship as well. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the North American Championship. I think that the men's belt is one of the most beautiful belts in wrestling.
Very nice.
I love that belt so much. And so I think this is a really sort of welcome addition. We'll keep you up to date on what they're going to do with that, because, like, obviously they've got the women's tag team titles on the main roster, and they've traveled between the brands as well. But I don't think they've ever been properly utilized. I think the main roster could do with a mid-card title a lot more than it could women's tag team titles.
Yeah, that's what we were saying that as well, weren't we, on the stream, talking about it and everything. And it feels like if you're not at the top, then you're not really, like, at the top. And if you lose, say you're up against a champion, you lose, usually you just kind of just go back down again, and then there's nothing sort of in between. Yeah. So I think that would be so good, again, especially on the main roster too, where you've got so many, like, you got your Shayna Baszler's, your Jade Cargill's now too, you know, like, people who could really benefit from holding that for a little while before then being pushed to feel like they are super ready to go and hold a women's world championship for a long time and have a lengthy reign with it, and just, seem super dominant and feel right for that position as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the mid-card titles are supposed to be. They're supposed to really be stepping stones to the world title. And we'll let you know. As I say, for now it's NXT, but who knows what they will do with the North American Championship. But it is being branded as the NXT North American Championship. We got a few plans revealed for a new WWE signing. This comes from Fightful Select. Corey Brennan reporting that Julia is going to be reporting to the Performance Center at NXT after completing her remaining dates. An immediate main roster debut has been ruled out for Julia. There's been rumors, as well as noted in this report, over the past several months that there were a few concerns about Julia being too stiff for the American style. Apparently, those concerns aren't shared within WWE. They're not fussed at all. I think it's actually a really good place for her. I'm not disappointed that they're not going to put her on the main roster straight away. A lot of fans sort of speculating, hey, maybe she'll pop up at WrestleMania, Raw after Mania, SmackDown after Mania, something like that. I don't think she would get the reception that she deserves. She's an amazing, amazing wrestler, but somebody who is perhaps a little bit unfamiliar to a lot of wrestling fans in North America, so maybe she wouldn't get the reaction that she does deserve.
I mean, well, she was there in the crowd at NXT Stand and Deliver, and I feel like even she was taken aback by how people were sort of reacting when her name was coming up. You know, the cameras were on her and everything as well. She stood up and she was kind of looking around like, wow, lots of people sort of...
For sure, but those are the hardcores, the ones that are going to NXT. Even now, this modern era of NXT, it's hardcore fans going to that show, I would argue. I think if she popped up, the music hits, her name comes on the Titantron, Raw after Mania, I think it might be a slightly damp crowd.
And you want to capitalize on it as much as possible, you know?
She's so good. If you've not checked any of her matches out, there's loads and loads free, legal ways to watch them on YouTube. No, people, a lot of the promotions that she's wrestled in have uploaded bits. If you've not seen any, check her out because she is unbelievably good. We're going to finish off with what happened after WrestleMania 40. Night 1 went off the air. So, live at Lincoln Financial Field, The Rock and Roman Reigns, they celebrated on the stage. We saw that on the camera and then exited with Paul Heyman. And then the cameras stopped rolling. We didn't see any more on the network. It's nothing too exciting here, but Cody Rhodes in the ring for a long time recovering. Seth Rollins eventually joining him in the ring, and then they played Cody's music. They eventually recovered, leaving the ring and making the long walk up the ramp together. Nothing too exciting, but they gave Cody his music. They gave him a lovely big send-off just for the live crowd. I think he's in with a good chance tomorrow. Bloodline rules.
I think so as well.
I think as far as sort of booking goes, that actually favors Cody, doesn't it? Obviously, we're going to see so many shenanigans. It was a real sort of Attitude Era feel to the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania. I think we're going to see lots more shenanigans. We're going to see even more ref bumps, interference, bloodline there as well. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. I don't think that I think tomorrow when they play Cody's music at the end of the match, it won't be because he's lost.
He'll be holding the championship in his hands.
It's a new era, but it's not the Renaissance era or the Renaissance era, however you want to pronounce it. It's the Triple H era. They made that very, very clear before WrestleMania and during the show. Michael Cole saying we're calling this the Triple H era because Cody trademarked the other one, and maybe they're a bit miffed. Maybe he won't win because they're pissed off about trademarks. Who knows? Thank you ever so much for joining us on the live stream. We hope to see as many of you as possible tomorrow for night 2 of WrestleMania. We've got What Happened At on the channel right now. We've got WTF coming up very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. And then it's the same deal all over again. Live stream, What Happened At, and WTF all hitting the channel as well on Monday. And Andrew and I are going to do Raw after Mania as well. Yes. I will also be finding out what my punishment is. I lost very, very quickly tonight.
Yeah, you did.
So there is an envelope over there that I have to open at the end of tomorrow's show to find out what I'm going to be doing for being such a pathetic failure in life and also at predicting wrestling matches. Thank you very much. Cheers. Take care of yourselves. In a bit, enjoy the rest of WrestleMania.